'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring. Not a creature was stirring. Not a creature stirring. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a new holiday horror movie coming out, or is already out technically, called A Creature Was Stirring. And it's a pretty wild creature feature, let me tell you. So this is a movie that you can actually watch on VOD right now. It's on Apple Plus TV. I don't know the subscription service, but it's included with that. Or you can rent it for $6.99. I've seen the trailer before. I saw it as like a very indie film, and it is a very indie, but it has a lot of passion and a lot of really great things about it that I'm going to talk about. Some negative, it's not exactly a perfect film, but it is pretty freaking awesome. So for what it did on an indie budget. Now I'm going to try to do this in one take, which I already did, and I didn't have this thing on. What a fucking idiot, huh? Anyway, so this is a movie that is about a woman who is a mother. She's a nurse, and she's taking care of her daughter who is afflicted with some sort of strange sort of disease or something. And she's struggling with her secrets when an uninvited strangers come to their house in the middle of a freaking blizzard. Things start to get pretty wild, whether her affliction, the daughter, is real or not. Is it a creature? Was it stirring? Yeah. So this is by director Damien Levesque, who actually did the movie The Cleansing Hour, which I think was last year or the year before. And it's also written by Shannon Wells, which is their first feature film, by the way. They've never written anything before. And I gotta say, for a movie that is more than just a creature feature film, this is actually pretty good work for writing. They actually went and did more than just doing creature feature. They have different layers to this film, and it sort of does a lot of really wild, crazy things in the story. Now, I gotta be upfront with you a little bit because, while this movie is really interesting and does a lot of really great practical effects and it's really well shot, there's a lot of really great scenes. One scene in particular that I saw where there's this smoke bellowing underneath the door and there's light shining underneath it. So they actually did a really good job in some of these shots. There's like where they line them up just perfect. It is done in sort of that retro style, which is kind of like the hobo with a shotgun style, where it has like these colors back here that you're seeing that kind of pump up the style of the movie in every corner of the film. I always consider it like a 80s music video for the metal bands and stuff because it kind of has that look to it. Not insanely realistic, but also kind of in this weird space that seems like a dream almost, and which is kind of perfect for this film. Now, we do have some actors and actresses that are in this film. In particular, ones that stand out is Scott Taylor-Compton, who plays this character named Liz. She was in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, and she kind of dipped out for a little while, and then she's coming back, and she's kind of gotten some steam with her as she's gone, but she's in this. She does a good job. I didn't even recognize her, by the way. We got Annalise Basso, who plays Charm, the daughter, and she was in Ouija, Origin of Evil, which was actually, I think, the good one. The first one I wasn't a fan of, but that movie made the first one good. Anyway, we got Chrissy Metz, who plays the mom, and she was in American Horror Story. I think she does a really good job here because she has to kind of balance being, the sweet mom, the crazy mom, and the overbearing mom, and it's a big role, but I think she did a really good job. She's kind of a badass in this as well. But yeah, it is an indie film, so you're going to have to taper your expectations. I think the beginning of this film asks a lot of the viewer because there is a lot of dialogue that is going on. And while it makes sense to the complete narrative by the end of the movie, I feel like it might ask a lot of the viewer in the beginning. It might kind of coax them along and make them interested, but some people might be a little bored with it. But it all makes sense by the end because they say and do things in this movie that you're kind of like, wait a second, why would they do that? Why would they say that? Why would this person act that way? Kind of got to suspend your disbelief a little bit to understand the bigger picture. So, like I said, wait till the very end. The creature effects in this are pretty impressive. There's some really weird design stuff. That is one of my friends, Kruger, from the Flesh Wound Horror podcast, actually suggested I watch this, and he said that, you know, it kind of reminded him of Antlers a little bit, and I didn't know what he meant until I actually saw some of the creature work and some of the gore in this, because, whoo, man, it takes a little while to get to that, but when you do see it, there's a really crazy scene with someone, a girl in particular, that I was like, holy shit, what is going on here? But I really like the creature effects in here. They're not perfect, but at least they tried. And you could tell that they actually did a really good job with it in this small little indie, you know, like they did above and beyond. So I admire it for that. But yeah, there are some things about the film that weren't exactly perfect. You know, like I said, it does take a little while to get to the good stuff by the end of the movie. But I think overall, as an indie film, it's a pretty cool holiday horror creature feature. Now, the Christmassy sort of holiday feel is not really there, but it is on Christmas Eve. You know, 'twas the night before Christmas. A creature was stirring. And there's a lot more than just the creature, I'll tell you that. So, but like I said, you know, wait till the end. You know, you're going to see what I mean by the end of the movie, and you'll hopefully enjoy it as much as I did. Now, I didn't love this film, but I thought it was really ambitious. I thought it was very a noble attempt at doing a lot. I think this is a good step in the right direction as far as directing, period. And as writing, I think it's a fantastic first step. Because usually these are kind of like too big of an idea, and they made it work in this indie. So good job. But yeah, I would say this is like a 7 out of 10 for me. It is indie, so if you're not into indie films, you're probably not going to be as forgiving. But, you know, I think it looks pretty damn good, and I think you'll enjoy it at least. Most holiday horror are never really like through the roof mainstream horror, you know. They don't have millions of dollars. These are like smaller budget things. So, you know, I think if you go in and watch this, you'll have a good time. And I think, honestly, there's going to be some people who maybe just couldn't make it through the beginning of the movie because they just don't understand it, or, you know, and then they fall out and they might not like it, or they may not like the end. I've seen a couple people complain about that, but there are also going to be people that might even give this like an 8 or a 9 just because they're like, whoa, you know, this is just the right movie for them. And they love creature stuff. So, you know, I'm somewhere in the middle. That's just me. But, you know, I'd love to hear what you guys think of this movie. Have you seen the trailer? Are you going to watch it? Did you hear other people talk about it? I would absolutely love to hear what you think about this film in the comment section down below. Please, if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. I did this in one take. I know there's mistakes, but, you know, this is what we got to do because there is literally so much stuff that I've got to do. I got some physical media stuff that's coming out here that I have to get done like today. So I wanted to kind of get as much done as I could for you guys to give you all the content before they release. So definitely support those other videos. Thank you for coming by. And as always, long live the void.